Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Welcome to the Clayton Center for the Arts and the Ronald and Linda Nutt Theater. May I take a moment to direct your attention to the exits marked to the right, the left, and the rear of the hall. These exits have been checked and are clear passages from the building. In the case of an emergency, please proceed to the exit nearest your seat. I would like to ask that you would silence all electronic devices, and for the safety of the performers and in consideration of the audience, please refrain from taking photographs and recording video or texting during the performance. Again, thank you for coming to the Clayton Center for the Arts.
Let us pray. On this spring evening, O God, in this season of new growth and new possibilities, we gather here to celebrate the accomplishments of our students and the many ways that they have enriched our college community over the past months and years. In a world that is increasingly drawn to name-calling rather than to civil conversation, in a world that prefers glib responses and easy answers rather than thoughtful analysis and sound judgment, in a world that prefers to gather in silos and echo chambers of the like-minded rather than in communities of diverse backgrounds and diverse viewpoints, may these students and all members of the Maryville College community always bear witness to the virtues of civility, thoughtfulness, wisdom, and hospitality. Indeed, O God, as the college's statement of purpose reminds us, we are called to search for truth, to work for justice, to develop wisdom, to become loving persons in thy world. On this evening of celebration, O God, we give special thanks for the families that have long nurtured and supported these outstanding students, whom we honor here tonight. Infuse our time together with joy, gratitude, and a renewed sense of purpose to become instruments of constructive change in thy world. We offer these prayers to thee, O God, in a spirit of humility and thanksgiving. Amen. Please be seated.
Thank you so much, Dr. Meyer, for those powerful, timely, and relevant words. Good evening, everyone. Let's try again. Good evening. Wonderful. I am Brian Coker, the 12th president of Maryville College, and I am honored, so honored, to welcome you here to the Academic Awards ceremony. Of course, I'm also thrilled to welcome you to this event in person. For the first time in 2 years, and for the first time ever in my presidency. This is an important event. It is so very, very important that we come together as a community to celebrate academic achievement. The academic experience is and must always be the foundation and very core of life here at Maryville College. We must honor and recognize those who excel in the classroom, in the laboratory, and in the studio. We must shine the spotlight upon those who go above and beyond, embracing scholarship and challenging themselves to go farther than they ever thought they could go. As you know, here at Maryville College, you study everything so that you're prepared for anything. And we're preparing you for both the everyday and the unexpected. Our world is one that is filled with much complexity and uncertainty, but I know that all of you, our students, are ready for those challenges. You are ready to lead. Of course, we all know that none of this would be possible without all that the faculty and staff of this college do each and every single day to teach, guide, and support our students. They and only they are why we are able to do what we do here and why we do it so incredibly well. So thank you to all of our faculty and staff for your extraordinary efforts here at the college each and every single day, and I want to give them a round of applause, please. Some of you have heard me speak before about one of my own role models, Father Theodore Hesburgh, who was president of Notre Dame from 1952 to 1987. Father Hesburgh believed that it was the responsibility of college and university presidents to speak out on the most important issues of the day. During his lifetime, you could find Father Hesburgh marching hand in hand with Dr. Martin Luther King, and he served as chair of the U.S. Civil Rights Commission under President Nixon. Hesburgh said a lot of great stuff about higher education in general, but especially about liberal arts education. Tonight, I'd like to very briefly share with you some of his thoughts on liberal arts education, and I quote, "It is only here that a student learns to situate himself or herself personally in a rapidly changing world. It is through liberal education that one learns to think clearly, logically, beautifully, how to express oneself, how to learn continually in a wide variety of ways, how to evaluate ideas and ideals, how to appreciate where humankind has been and where humankind is going. Whatever else we do to educate our students, all these liberating quality skills and concepts are essential to what kind of persons they are becoming." no matter what they are preparing to do in life, end quote. That, my friends, is what this endeavor, this beautiful endeavor of over 200 years that we call Maryville College, that is what this remarkable endeavor is all about. Thank you all so much once again, and welcome.
Good evening. We're delighted you're here. My name is Daniel Klingensmith. I have the honor to be the Dean of Maryville College. I would also like to extend a welcome to you to this academic award ceremony. Let me extend an especially warm welcome to those of you who are parents, family, and friends of tonight's award recipients. All of us at the college take great satisfaction in the accomplishments of these students as we recognize them for their special commitment to learning, their passion for understanding, their sensitivity to nuance, their appreciation for social and cultural diversity, and their willingness to use their growing wisdom for the common good. Before we begin the ceremony, let me mention that there is a list of award recipients in all categories that will be available for you at the end of the ceremony on a table in the foyer outside, and also a downloadable version which will be available on our website. We will begin tonight with achievement awards in academic fields from the core curriculum and the different academic divisions. Each student is asked to come forward as your name is read. Dr. Mary Turner will present awards in the core curriculum on behalf of the entire Maryville College faculty. The Glenn Hewitt Award in Ethics, established in memory of Glenn Hewitt, a professor of religion and philosophy from 1988 to 1997, is given to the student demonstrating the most outstanding work in Ethics 490. The student's name is engraved on a permanent plaque displayed in Anderson Hall. A cash award and a certificate of recognition are presented to Angela Anderton. The Liberal Arts Award is given to the graduating senior who has the highest grade point average in all core courses taken at Maryville College. A cash award and certificate of recognition are presented to Chloe Hamlet. Dr. Kathy Sheba will present awards on behalf of the Behavioral Sciences faculty. The David H. Briggs Award honors Professor Briggs, Maryville College class of 1919, who was professor of psychology and chair of the department from 1936 to 1966. The Briggs Award recognizes the senior psychology major with the best academic performance in psychology as judged by classroom performance, overall scholarship, and grade point average. The name of the recipient will be on permanent display in Sutton Science Center. A certificate of recognition is presented to Autumn Carroll. The Counseling Psychology Award acknowledges a senior counseling psychology major with the best academic performance in counseling psychology, again as judged by classroom performance, overall scholarship, and grade point average. The name of the recipient will be on permanent display in Sutton Science Center. A certificate of recognition is presented to Maddie Lindsay. The Developmental Psychology Award is presented to a senior developmental psychology major who has achieved outstanding academic performance in the major and within their field. The name of the recipient will be on permanent display in Sutton Science Center. A certificate of recognition is presented to Diana Margoiho. The Irma Young Outstanding Senior Award in Interpreting honors Mrs. Young, who created the major in Sign Language Interpreting in 1974. It is awarded to the student who has shown exemplary potential for the interpreting profession by performance and scholarship. The name of the recipient will be on permanent display in Sutton Science Center. A certificate of recognition is presented to Christina Shelton. The American Sign Language Outstanding Senior Award is awarded to a senior American Sign Language major who has demonstrated high competence with ASL as indicated by ASL performance and scholarship. The name of the recipient will be on permanent display in Sutton Science Center. A certificate of recognition is presented to Linnea Liebert. And I believe Ms. Liebert is not available to be with us tonight. Will Dr. Lori Schmid please join Dr. Shiba for the last award in behavioral sciences? Last month, the psychology faculty unanimously agreed to rename the Neuroscience Award to the Lori A. Schmid Neuroscience Award to honor Dr. Lori Schmid, who retires this year after 33 years at Maryville College. Her doctorate is in psychophysiology and health psychology, and she has coordinated the neuroscience major since its inception 10 years ago. The Lori A. Schmid Neuroscience Award acknowledges a senior neuroscience major with the best academic performance in neuroscience as judged by classroom performance, overall scholarship, and grade point average. The name of the recipient will be on permanent display in Sutton Science Center. A certificate of recognition is presented to Molly Ann Puckett. Normally, at this point, we would present awards for the Division of Education. The recipient of tonight's award in education unfortunately could not be here, so I will simply read the citation and then we can honor him. The Outstanding Pre-Service Teacher Secondary is presented to a graduating pre-service teacher who best exemplifies the knowledge, skills, and contributions of a professional educator. The name of the recipient will be engraved on a plaque in Anderson Hall. A certificate of recognition is presented to Juan Carlos Gonzalez Roman, who is unable to attend. Dr. Bill Swan will present awards on behalf of the Fine Arts faculty. The Clark Family Prize was established in 2000 by Maryville College graduate Vernon Clark, founder of Graphic Chemical and Ink Company, and his family. The prize is awarded to rising juniors or seniors in art who have demonstrated outstanding academic and artistic achievement. Cash certificates for the purpose of purchasing art supplies and certificates of recognition are presented to two students, Emily Huffstetler and Brianna White. The Sarah Hardrath Kramer Art History Award was established by the Division of Fine Arts in memory of Sarah Hardrath Kramer, a former adjunct professor of art history at Maryville College. The award is presented to the graduating senior who has demonstrated the most outstanding achievement in the subject. A gift of a book and a certificate of recognition are presented to Heather Mead. The Outstanding Senior Design Student Award is presented to the graduating senior design major who has demonstrated the most outstanding achievement in the major field. A book and a certificate of recognition goes to Rebecca Branton. The Aeromont School of Arts and Crafts scholarships are awarded yearly to 2 junior or senior students majoring in art or design and cover tuition, room and board, and art supplies for a week-long intensive workshop at that prestigious school in Gatlinburg. The scholarships are co-funded by the college and the Aeromont School of Arts and Crafts, and this year are awarded to 2 students. Certificates of recognition are presented to Kensley Chapman and Natalie Bennett. The Lacroix Choir Award is named for Henry Lacroix, who was the pianist for February meetings from 1949 to 1960. It is given to a senior who has been a Maryville College choir member for at least 2 years, who is judged to have been of outstanding service to the choir, and who has been a successful student. A cash award and certificate of recognition are presented this year to 2 students, Elizabeth Jackson and Abigail Robertson. The Robert Bonham Music Faculty Award for Superior Performance is presented to a music student with a high standard of performance. The Fine Arts Division adopted this award in 2006 to honor Robert Bonham's 41 years as professor of music. A cash award from the music faculty to be used to purchase music and a certificate of recognition go to Daniel Villaire, who unfortunately is unable to attend. The Bates Forensic Drama Award was established in 1917 by the Reverend William H. Bates and is presented to the most outstanding senior in drama. A cash award and certificate of recognition go to David Steele. The Evelyn Seedorf Prize in Dramatic Arts was established in memory of Evelyn Seedorf Koop, a 1930 Maryville College graduate. The prize is presented to the most deserving student majoring in theater. A cash award and certificate of recognition are presented to Connor Goins. The Outstanding Senior Theater Student Award is presented to the graduating senior theater major who has demonstrated the most outstanding achievement in the major field. The student's name will be engraved on a permanent plaque. A certificate of recognition goes to Michaela Nance. For the Division of Health Sciences and Outdoor Studies Awards, once again, our recipients unfortunately could not be here, so I will simply read the 2 citations and then we can honor them. The Phi Epsilon Rho Award goes to a rising senior in Health Sciences and Outdoor Studies who has at least a 3.0 GPA, has exhibited leadership in campus and departmental activities and in professional organizations. The name of the recipient will be engraved on a plaque in Fairweather Hall. A cash award and certificate of recognition are presented to Parker Owens. The Health Sciences and Outdoor Studies Outstanding Senior Award is given to a graduating senior in Health Sciences and Outdoor Studies who has at least a 3.5 GPA, serves as a role model in the classroom and community, and is involved in professional organizations. The name of the recipient will be engraved on a plaque in Fairweather Hall. A cash award and certificate of recognition are presented to Davis Clothier, again, unable to attend. Dr. Philip Sherman will present awards on behalf of the Humanities faculty. The T.T. Alexander Award, named for Dr. Thomas Theron Alexander, an 1873 graduate of Maryville College, is given to the student with the best paper on a subject from one of the following areas: the relationship of philosophical or theological inquiry to social issues, the application of such inquiry to social issues, the consequences of social, theological, or philosophical problems on religious doctrine, the consequences of religious doctrine upon social, political, or economic thinking or social science method, or the consequences of religious doctrine upon social, political, or economic issues and conflicts. A cash award and a certificate of recognition are presented to Jason Nix. The Verton M. Queener Award for History is named for Dr. Queener, member of the Maryville College class of 1924, who was a professor of history from 1927 to 1958. He chaired the Division of Social Sciences and the debate team. This award is presented to the outstanding junior student in American and English history. A cash award and a certificate of recognition are presented to Scotty Leach. The Otto P. Flanze Award for Excellence in History was established in 2011 and named for Otto Paul Flanze, a historian from the Maryville College class of 1940, whose biography of Otto von Bismarck is considered one of the definitive classics on the subject. The prize is awarded each year and goes to an outstanding senior in history. A cash award and a certificate of recognition are presented to Danny Abel. The Frank A. Kramer Student Award was established by members of his family. Mr. Kramer was a member of the Maryville College class of 1947. The award is given to a history major who has demonstrated outstanding academic achievement, exceptional service to the college, and significant involvement in extracurricular activities. College fees will be credited for the amount of this award. A certificate of recognition is presented to Katie Lemming, who is unable to attend tonight. Dr. Sam Overstreet will present awards on behalf of the Languages and Literature faculty. The Alexander English Prize is given to the senior student who achieved the best four-year record in the study of English. The award is named for Jane Bancroft Smith Alexander, who taught Latin and modern languages at Maryville College in the 1880s and taught literature until her retirement in 1934. A cash award and certificate of recognition are presented to Chloe Hamlet. The Charlotta Cook Hensley Memorial Award is awarded to a current sophomore or junior in writing communication or English who has demonstrated outstanding academic achievement and significant involvement on the staff of the Highland Echo. This award was established in 1997 in memory of Charlotta Cook Hensley, who served as the editor of the Highland Echo, Maryville College's student newspaper. College fees will be credited for the amount of this award. A certificate of recognition is presented to Emily Hufstetler. The Edwin R. Hunter Award for Excellence in Research in English or American Literature is given to the senior judge to have produced the most outstanding senior study in English or American literature. Dr. Hunter, Maryville College class of 1914, chaired the Department of English and served as Dean of Curriculum from 1918 to 1967. The senior study at Maryville College began under his inspiration and guidance. A cash award and a certificate of recognition are presented to Madison Falks. The Ruth Lloyd Kramer Student Award was established by Frank Kramer, Maryville College class of 1947, in memory of his wife, Ruth, daughter of Maryville College's sixth president, Dr. Ralph Lloyd. The award is given to a junior English major who has demonstrated outstanding academic achievement, exceptional service to the college, and significant involvement in extracurricular activities. College fees will be credited to the amount of this award. A certificate of recognition is presented to Rebecca Rainey. The Outstanding Spanish Major Award is given to the Spanish major showing the best academic performance judged by classroom performance, overall scholarship, study abroad experience, and grade point average. A cash award and a certificate of recognition are presented to Kylie Force. The Outstanding Spanish Minor Award is given to the Spanish minor, showing the best academic performance, again judged by classroom performance, overall scholarship, study abroad experience, and grade point average. A cash award and certificate of recognition are presented to Leslie Fuentes. Impressions, the campus literary magazine, accepts submissions from students, faculty, and staff in the areas of prose, poetry, art, and photography. Each spring, several works of art are selected for publication. The following students are recognized for their contributions to the magazine in each of three categories. Cash awards and certificates of recognition are presented for the best art or photography to Emma Haynes, who is unable to attend tonight, but we can honor her. For the best poetry to Lauren Gaines. And for the best prose to Elise Hudgens. The Outstanding Achievement Awards in Foreign Languages recognize superior work on the elementary level in the modern and classical languages. Certificates of recognition are presented to students whose work exemplifies accomplishment at the highest quality on the first-year level. For superior work in French, Nélida Jassy. For superior work in Italian, Grace Brandel. There you are. Good. For superior work in Latin, Megan Kimbrell. For superior work in German, Lily Bryan and Matthew Gaston. For superior work in Japanese, Paige Jones. And lastly, for superior work in Spanish at the elementary level, Brianna White. Dr. Jeff Bay will present awards on behalf of faculty in mathematics and computer science. The Russell N. and Francis Lane Edwards and Troy Bell Lane Wagoner Award was established in 1972 by Francis Lane Edwards, Maryville College class of 1945, in memory of her husband Russell. This award is given to the most outstanding junior in the Department of Mathematics and Computer Science. College fees will be credited for the amount of this award. A certificate of recognition is presented to Jonathan Meistrick. The George A. Knapp Mathematics Award is given to the most outstanding and most promising junior or senior student majoring in mathematics. Dr. George Knapp, a surveyor, ornithologist, astronomer, physicist, mathematician, debate coach, and lover of music, literature, and baseball, taught math and physics at Maryville College from 1914 to 1938. College fees or cash award and certificate of recognition are presented to Lainey Hudolan. The West Chevrolet Academic Award is given to a student who scores in the top 10 on the mathematics competition conducted by Maryville College's Division of Mathematics and Computer Science, or to an outstanding freshman or sophomore from Blount, Loudoun, or Sevier counties majoring in the division. College fees will be credited for the amount of this award. A certificate of recognition is given this year to 3 students, Gabe Hatcher, Zach Holman, and Will Stallions. The William H. Dent Calculus Award is named for Dr. Dent, Maryville College class of 1957, professor of mathematics at Maryville College for 38 years, who served as chair of the Division of Mathematics and Computer Science. The award is given to the student with the most outstanding performance in calculus. The recipient's name is engraved on a permanent plaque in Sutton Science Center. The gift of a book, membership in a professional organization, and a certificate of recognition are presented to Will Stallions. The The Jerry L. Peyton-Paul Computer Science Award is given to the most outstanding and promising junior or senior student majoring in computer science. Dr. Peyton-Paul was a professor of math and computer science at Maryville College from 1990 to 2000. The recipient's name is engraved on a permanent plaque in Sutton Science Center. The gift of a book, membership in a professional organization in the field of computer science, and a certificate of recognition are presented to Jonathan Meistrick. The Outstanding Achievement in Statistics Award is given to the most outstanding student in the advanced study of statistics. The recipient's name is engraved on a permanent plaque in Sutton Science Center. The gift of a book, membership in a professional organization in the field of statistics, and a certificate of recognition are presented to two students, Jace Britton and Jeremy Cedars. Dr. Jennifer Bergotti will present awards on behalf of the Natural Sciences faculty. The Robert K. Godfrey Freshman Biology Award goes to a freshman biology major for demonstrated excellence in the study of biology in the first-year courses. The recipient's name is engraved on a permanent plaque in Sutton Science Center. A certificate of recognition is presented to Caitlin Coster. The Sophomore Biology Award is presented to a sophomore biology major for demonstrated outstanding ability and promise in the biological sciences. The recipient's name is engraved on a permanent plaque in the Sutton Science Center. The gift of a book and a certificate of recognition are presented to Carmela Lewis. The Susan Allen Green Award is presented to the most outstanding student in the junior class majoring in biology. The recipient's name is engraved on a permanent plaque in Sutton Science Center. A cash award and a certificate of recognition are presented to Samantha Stacy. The A. Randolph Shields Award is named for Dr. Shields, Maryville College class of 1934. He was a professor of biology and chair of the Division of Natural Sciences. It is given to the graduating senior who has the most outstanding four-year record in biology. The recipient's name is engraved on a permanent plaque in Sutton Science Center. The gift of a book and a certificate of recognition are given to Rebecca Roberson. The Elizabeth Hillman Award goes to a woman in the junior class who shows excellence in the study of chemistry. A cash award and a certificate of recognition are presented to Mackenzie Lamb. The Outstanding Performance in General Chemistry Award is presented to a freshman or sophomore student in recognition of demonstrated excellence in the study of general chemistry. The recipient's name is engraved on a permanent plaque in Sutton Science Center. A certificate of recognition is presented to Reese Bailey. The Outstanding Performance in Organic Chemistry Award is given to the sophomore or junior student in recognition of demonstrated outstanding ability in the study of organic chemistry. The recipient names are engraved on a permanent plaque in Sutton Science Center. This year, a certificate of recognition is presented to Samantha Stacy. In recognition of outstanding achievement developed over 4 years, the Distinguished Achievement in Chemistry Award goes to the graduating senior who demonstrates the most outstanding accomplishments in chemistry. The recipient's name is engraved on a permanent plaque in Sutton Science Center. The gift of a book and a certificate of recognition are presented to Ben Walker. Dr. Sharon May will present awards on behalf of the Social Sciences faculty. The John W. Burgess Award for Meritorious Achievement in the Field of Political Science goes to the outstanding student in political science. The gift of a book and a certificate of recognition are presented to Jane Meadows and Caston Weeks. The Judson B. Murphy Endowed Business Award is presented to a senior who demonstrates outstanding work in one of the business majors with outstanding character, well-rounded achievement, and career promise. Judson B. Murphy, class of 1939, was a civic and community leader and served on the Maryville College Board of Directors. This year, we recognize 3 outstanding students: Ian Campbell, who is unable to attend, Meredith Bonney, and Emily Hofstetler. The Kyle and Roberta Myers Petrie Endowed Award is given to an outstanding local student majoring in business or education. Mr. and Mrs. Petrie, graduates of Maryville College, have devoted their professional lives in service to Blount County. College fees will be credited for the amount of this award. Certificates of recognition are presented to Emily Bridges and Tyler Ramsey. The Outstanding Senior Award in Sociology is awarded to a senior with high achievement in the sociology major, exemplified by GPA in the major, excellence in the senior thesis and comprehensive exam, and contributions to the classroom, college, and community. The gift of a book and certificate of recognition are presented to 2 students this year, Haley Carmichael and Angela Anderton. The Agnes Thornton Bird Endowed Memorial Award is given to a locally residing sophomore or junior woman interested in pursuing a career in the legal profession. College fees will be credited for the amount of this award. A certificate of recognition is presented to 2 students this year, Riley Cook and Emily Hofstetler. The Hall Ethical Thinking Award is presented to a member of the junior class whose creative or practical essay on ethical thinking on a particular theme from a variety of perspectives, including historical, literary, theological, psychological, and sociological analyses, could be published in a journal or magazine. The theme for 2021-22 was Ethical Dimensions of Community Membership on a Local, National, and Global Level. College fees will be credited for the amount of this award. Certificates of recognition are presented to 2 students this year, Sarah Kuntz and Lainey Hudolan. This concludes the awards given in the core curriculum and by the different academic divisions. We now turn to a series of awards given for achievements that span multiple areas of the college. Dr. Jennifer Green will be up first presenting the Ryan Newhouse Award.
The Ryan Newhouse Award, given each year to the junior or senior student who, in the judgment of the business, fine arts, and humanities faculty, typifies the finest characteristics of the liberal arts by uniting the fields of business and the humanities or fine arts in their academic life, personal growth, and values. Ryan's combination of creativity, respect for the common good, and engagement in multiple modes of inquiry embodied the liberal arts tradition and its goals. The Newhouse Award reminds us that at Maryville College, business is a liberal art. Cash awards and certificates of recognition are presented to 2 students, Paula Perez Gonzalez and Andrew Grant Agnew. Ms. Kirsten Shepard will present the award for the Jackson Outstanding International Student.
The Jackson Outstanding International Student Award is given to a senior who has been a student at Maryville College for at least 1 academic year, has a minimum GPA of 3.5, and has shown leadership inside and outside the classroom. A cash award and a certificate of recognition are presented to Ahmed Etman. Dr. Coker will present the Lacroix Award.
Okay, before I present the Lacroix Award, I want to go off script 1 second, moment of personal privilege, because, as president, you get to do that. And say a thanks. The role of a presidential spouse means that you come to a lot of events. And as it is this time of year for a lot of people, this week's been a doozy. And I want to thank my wife, Sarah, who's over here. But thank you for being here. I know she'll get me for that later. So proud now to present the Lacroix Award. The recipient of the Lacroix Award is selected each year from among the graduating class by the president of Maryville College. That's me. Students are nominated by faculty members from the humanities and the natural sciences divisions. The Lacroix Award was established in 1987 by the descendants and friends of Granville Dexter Lacroix, a Maryville physician, and his wife, Ellen Bricky Lacroix. It was created to help defray the expenses of applying to medical school, so preference is shown to a student who has chosen medicine as a career goal. A little bit about Granville Dexter Lacroix. He was a student at Maryville College in the preparatory department and later served as college physician. He received his MD degree from Lincoln Memorial University Medical School in Knoxville, and after service in World War I, returned to practice in Maryville. He was a charter member of the American Academy of General Practice, a member of the Tennessee State Medical Association, and was selected Family Doctor of the Year in 1952 by the Tennessee Academy of General Practice. Dr. Lacroix was Chief of Staff of Doctors Hospital and later of Blount Memorial Hospital. Now to this year's recipient. She is a biochemistry major who plans to apply to MD and MD/PhD programs, as she possesses a great interest in and aptitude for research. As one faculty member put it, she isn't satisfied with just learning facts or answering the what type questions. She enthusiastically wants to know the answers to why behind scientific principles, observations, and chemical reactions. That interest in research is also evident in not one, but two REU programs last summer. By the way, REU stands for Research Experiences for Undergraduates. In one REU at the University of Tennessee, she studied biochemistry and molecular biology in an environmental health and safety context. In another, at the University of Tennessee Medical Center, she evaluated data from oncology patient outcomes under the supervision of a retired Mayo Clinic physician. Her research and findings from this REU have been submitted for publication. And keep in mind, the REUs were in addition to her work on her Maryville College-required senior study. For it, tonight's Lacroix Award winner again examined the links between human health and environmental health by studying the presence of the pesticide, imidacloprid? Imidacloprid. All right, thank you. Got a little help there. I needed it. In the nectar of flowering plants growing near eastern hemlock trees treated against the woody Adelgid we'll go with it. Infestation. The study required a lot of independent lab work, I imagine it did, which she tackled with enthusiasm, diligence, and determination. Wrote the professor who nominated her for this award, the fact that she would so completely devote herself to a topic that is not traditionally medical in the textbook sense of the word demonstrates her adaptability and her scientific curiosity. In his nominating letter, this professor also mentioned that tonight's winner enrolled in Dr. Crane's ornithology class to broaden her perspective on the state of our environment and natural world. As much as she is admired by her professors, tonight's honoree also is admired by her peers. She has been a member of the Scott Science Scholars, led the college's chapter of the American Chemical Society, and served as a supplemental instruction leader for organic chemistry and a much sought-after tutor in the STEM Success Center. She plans to take a year off after graduation and either work in a research lab or gain additional experience in direct patient care while applying for medical schools. At Maryville, we talk a lot about the wisdom of studying everything so that you're prepared for anything. This approach is important for every profession, but perhaps it's most important for the medical field, as preparation for anything can mean the difference between life and death. With a demonstrated commitment to scientific inquiry, a liberal arts grounding, and a record of helping others, we are confident that this year's Lacroix Award winner is going to be prepared for anything, especially a career as an amazing physician. Please come forward and be recognized, Nadia St. Thomas. Congratulations, Dr. Klingensmith. Would you come back forward, please?
Thank you, Dr. Coker. Now we continue with Honor Society recognition. A considerable number of students have been selected for membership in National Honor Societies this year. Induction ceremonies for each of these societies are held throughout the spring semester. The names of inductees for each society appear on the awards list that will be available at the conclusion of this program. There are too many to recognize individually, so we'd like to recognize them collectively. I will ask any member of these societies who are present this evening, both on the stage or in the auditorium, to stand after I have named all the honor societies. the Alpha Psi Omega National Theater Honor Society, the Kappa Delta Pi International Honor Society, the Sigma Delta Pi National Honor Fraternity in Spanish, the Sigma Tau Delta National Honor Society for English, the Phi Alpha Theta History Honor Society, the Psi Chi National Honor Society in Psychology, the Alpha Sigma Lambda Honor Society of Non-Traditional Students, and the Alpha Gamma Sigma Honor Society of Seniors. Will you please now stand if you are a member of any of these honor societies? Thank you. Please be seated. It is now time for our last award of the night, the Outstanding Senior Award. Presented since 1975, the intent of this award is to recognize a senior student who has been active in a broad range of activities, who most exemplifies the ideal Maryville College graduate, and who has the potential to be an outstanding alumnus. Selection of the outstanding senior nominees and the ultimate recipient is made by a representative committee of faculty, staff, and students appointed by the Dean of Students. This committee carries out an extensive and thorough nomination and selection process in reviewing the records of eligible seniors. The committee then narrows the choice to final nominees and ultimately to a single recipient. I believe you will find each one of the 2022 nominees to be an outstanding senior. Until tonight, this prestigious award has been described as an honor sponsored by the Maryville College Alumni Association. But actually, for most of its existence, the cash award that accompanies it has come from a couple of people who donated the amount every year quietly and without any recognition. But that was the practice until tonight. May I ask Carl and Jean McDonald to stand? The McDonalds have been these quiet donors for more than 25 years. Tonight, we want to publicly thank them for past support and to celebrate their most recent gift that endows the Outstanding Senior Award. Their generosity ensures that this honor will be presented annually to a deserving student for the life of the college, and that the award's prestige will grow. Please join me again in recognizing and thanking Carl and Jean McDonald. Let me tell you a little more about them. Carl graduated from Maryville College in 1963, majoring in business administration and participating in numerous student organizations, Porky and the Simple Seven Pep Band, the Highlander Marching Band, MC Playhouse, Kappa Phi, and the cheerleading squad. Although he would be recognized with an alumni citation 47 years after graduating, Carl might tell you that his own academic record would not have put him in the running for Outstanding Senior. However, throughout his life as a veteran, law student, attorney, public servant, and community volunteer, he has recognized that Maryville College prepared him and fellow alumni for outstanding work and service. Jean McDonald has been a proponent of education nearly her whole life. Studying history and art at Jacksonville State University in Alabama, she received a bachelor's degree with teacher licensure in 1967, and in a career that spanned nearly 4 decades, Jean taught students at the elementary, junior high, and high school levels. Her longest appointment, 31 years, was with the Maryville City School System, teaching art and social studies at Maryville Junior High. While juggling teaching responsibilities and parenting 3 children, Jean finished a master's degree from the University of Tennessee in 1987. Believing in the value of a Maryville College education, both Carl and Jean have faithfully supported this institution with their time, talent, and treasure for more than half a century. It is very fitting that their name be forever linked to this honor. It's with great pleasure, then, that I now ask the nominees of the Carl and Jean McDonald Outstanding Senior Award and their presenters to come forward. Grant Agnew and Dr. Jennifer Green. Rebecca Branton and Mr. Morgan Manning. Sarah Cardall and Dr. Scott Henson. Jose Hernandez Chavez and Dr. Jeff Bay. Nicholas Clifton and Dr. Alicia Oren. Chloe Hamlet and Ms. Christina Seymour. Each of these seniors will be introduced by a professor who is their advisor or a faculty member in their major. After each introduction, the advisor will present the nominee with a framed certificate of nomination for Outstanding Senior. Dr. Jennifer Green, will you please come to the podium?
I am honored to introduce Andrew Grant Agnew as a finalist for Outstanding Senior. Grant has distinguished himself as an exceptional student in multiple areas during his 4 years at Maryville College. I first met Grant when he arrived on campus as a first-year student. Grant was thoughtful, quiet, and incredibly polite. It was obvious that he was ready to begin his career at Maryville College, and begin he did. He played all 4 years as a defensive back with the Maryville College Fighting Scots football team and served as a team captain this past year as a senior. Having arrived as a Dean Scholar, he hit the ground running in the classroom and immediately established himself as a stellar student and an exceptional academic mentor. In just a few weeks, Grant will be receiving his degree in management with a minor in writing communications, capping off his MC academic career. However, being a successful student athlete was not enough to satisfy Grant's need to contribute to the MC and local communities. He has also been a journalist with the Highland Echo, serves as a member of and volunteer for Foothills Church, participates in Maryville College Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and is currently the vice president of the senior class. He has also served as a peer mentor, assisting our first-year students upon their arrival to MC, and has been a resident assistant for the last 2 years, serving as a support for many of his fellow students on campus in Gamble and Carnegie dorms. Additionally, Grant has been busy in exploration of vocation while on campus. He has served as a communications assistant since October 2020 in our communications marketing department, where he's tackled a plethora of tasks, including writing and distributing press releases and taking photos at various events. If any of our off-campus guests are asking, where have I seen this gentleman before? You may recognize him as the cover model of the Fall 2020 Focus magazine, an official publication of Maryville College. In August 2021, Grant's love of sports sent him again to the athletic department to serve as an athletic communications assistant, where he set up game day operations and interviewed coaches and athletes. This experience will serve him well as he moves this August into a graduate assistantship with ETSU's Sports Management Graduate Program. Through all of these activities, Grant has become known and loved by so many. A colleague in residence life reflects his tremendous kindness shines for all those around him, and he elevates all of those around him with his positive attitude. Another in marketing and communication shares, Grant consistently met deadlines, which is very important for our work, and with his easygoing personality and impeccable manners, he was just a pleasure to work with. His director as an MC academic mentor states, always smiling, always positive, always willing to help. Grant was a mentor of mentors and will no doubt go on to accomplish incredible things post-Maryville College. And that is the common thread that connects all observations concerning Grant, his excellence, kindness, and gentle nature. Amongst all of his accomplishments, Grant is the quiet presence within the storm, the soft-spoken role model and leader who make all others feel better by having him by their sides. Therefore, it is indeed my honor to present to you outstanding senior finalist, Mr. Andrew Grant Agnew.
Good evening. I'm Morgan Manning, Art and Design Professor at Maryville College. It is my honor to introduce to you Rebecca Branton, candidate for this year's Outstanding Senior. I have had the pleasure of working with Rebecca as her academic advisor for the past 4 years. She is exceptionally bright, talented, and kind. As an emerging artist and designer, she has excelled in every way. In addition to her strong work in the classroom, Rebecca has received multiple awards and recognitions for her creative work. As a sophomore, she designed a new poster for the Maryville College Keepers of the Covenant. More recently, Rebecca took first place in a poster design contest for the Knoxville Opera, winning out of a group of more than 200 submissions. For the past 3 years, she has served as the president of the Maryville College student chapter of the American Institute of Graphic Arts. She interned as a design consultant for the college, developing tutorials and other content to foster student success during the unprecedented pandemic academic year of 2020-2021. Perhaps the most impressive aspect of Rebecca's academic success is the fact that she is already working professionally in her chosen field of study, creating impressive work for local clients like the Sevierville Farmers Market and Boyd Thomas Clothing. Rebecca also demonstrates an unwavering commitment to service. She served as vice president of her freshman and sophomore classes, as well as a member of the Campus Life Committee. She has also been a member of the Student Conduct Board and chair of the Student Government Association's Public Relations Committee. Additionally, Rebecca has been a resident assistant since 2019, developing student programming ideas and working with other RAs to ensure a safe and welcoming residential community here on campus. Rebecca fully exemplifies the college's core tenets of scholarship, respect, and integrity. She embraces lifelong intellectual curiosity and seeks to use her gifts to serve others. She leads by example and inspires her peers to do their best work. She rose to meet the unique challenges of the past 2 years with grace and dignity. She has much to be proud of, and I have no doubt that she will go on to do many great things. Ladies and gentlemen, Rebecca Branton.
It's always a privilege to nominate a student for the Outstanding Senior Award. As with previous years, there are many deserving students and many more fellow classmates, faculty, and staff that encouraged and supported those being recognized tonight. We should first thank all of those that contribute generously to our students' successes. It is now my distinct privilege to talk about one of the outstanding contributors to and beneficiaries of this community, Sarah Cardle. These kind of speeches typically begin with a list of achievements, and Sarah certainly has such a list. But let me begin with a statement about who Sarah is before sharing some of the things she has done. Sarah was described to me by her thesis advisor as an impressive thinker. Now, this phrase carries a lot of meaning, doesn't it? To leave an impression by the way you think is a curious attribute. It implies something beyond just intelligence, or even what we commonly refer to as critical thinking. As highly as these characteristics are valued in academics, they are only part of the process of deep contemplation, for thinking at its best also involves ethical responsibility and concern for others. In her senior study, Sarah explores intellectually and ethically the issue of corporate social responsibility, examining the implications of Volkswagen's attempt to circumvent environmental regulations in the design of its automobiles. Sarah thinks and writes impressively about the role personal responsibility, in addition to law, plays in the trust that we place in businesses. By questioning the limits of regulations and the boundaries of personal responsibility, Sarah asks her readers to think about the society we've created and the forces that drive it. This ability and commitment to think deeply about important questions is also reflected in Sarah's vision for her future. Greatly concerned about our natural environment, Sarah plans to take a year after graduation to work in one of our nation's greatest parks before pursuing a career in environmental law. A question as complex and important as environmental sustainability isn't going to be answered in a course or a program, but in a relentless pursuit of truth and responsibility. I'm reminded of this quote by the Greek philosopher Plutarch. The mind does not require filling like a bottle, but rather like wood, it only requires kindling to create it into an impulse to think independently and an ardent desire for the truth. That spark of curiosity mixed with concern for others was kindled long ago in Sarah, and hopefully fanned by her experiences here at Maryville College and studying abroad. I have no doubt that it will grow even stronger in the years to come as Sarah follows the impulse to think independently and ardently desire truth. Now to highlight just a few of the accomplishments that this type of thinking has already produced in Sarah's time as a student at Maryville College. As an international studies major, Sarah has a global mindset with attention to people and places across cultures and geography. After spending time in Germany, alongside earning an Outstanding Achievement Award in German, Sarah turned her attention to further cultural exploration. Though hindered by the pandemic, Sarah persisted with her goals and interned virtually with the Voice of the Amazigh Women, an organization working in Morocco. These experiences combined with serving as secretary and treasurer of the Maryville College student government and various roles on campus, including resident assistant, student ambassador for college admissions, Highland Echo writer and editor, peer coach in the Career Center. All these clearly demonstrate Sarah's commitment to Maryville College's mission of service to our community and the world. And the semester isn't over yet, so I'm sure that there'll be more accomplishments even yet. Sarah is not one to be idle, so thank you for taking time to share 4 years here at Maryville College. We'll be watching where you go from here and wishing you great success and happiness.
It's my privilege to introduce Jose Hernandez Chavez. I first got to know Jose when I had him in introductory statistics, went on to become his advisor when he declared a business analytics major, and most recently have been working with him on a senior study. Jose is a talented student with a sharp analytical mind. Even as a 9-year-old new to this country, he helped others learn math as he was learning English. He placed out of ESL classes sooner than is typical, but even so, had fallen behind in his math coursework. There's only so much room in a class schedule. To compensate for this, he took multiple math classes in high school so that he'd be prepared to take AP Calculus as a senior. Clearly someone with a passion for math and driven to achieve. Jose has continued to excel in math at Maryville College and plans to pursue a graduate degree in analytics at some point in the future. While his love and ability in math has continued from his earliest years to the present, what has changed is how he plans to apply what he's learned. Jose wrote in a recent essay for ethics that, quote, "When I first started college, I thought that I wanted to work for corporate America. However, as I made my way to this point, I have realized that my place is to help and give back to either people or the world. I've learned that I would not be here where I am if others had not taken the responsibility and that extra step to help. When I think of how, end quote, when I think of how to serve others and the world, I think of the prophet Micah saying, God requires of us nothing more than to do justice, love kindness, and to walk humbly. Jose embodies each of these characteristics. Doing justice. Jose volunteers with Welcoming Immigrant Neighbors, Blount County. He has developed a resource guide for new immigrants, and he is working on Win BC's website, helping meet the needs of others, much as he was helped when he was new to this country, doing justice. Loving kindness. Jose and I coached for a couple seasons in AYSO, and I got to see firsthand his kindness in working with our U12 soccer team. Not once did he have an unkind thing to say about a player, either ours or opponents, or for a referee. The girls gravitated to him because they knew he'd help them learn soccer, but also his warm smile made them feel confident. Loving kindness. Walking humbly. Jose has a curious, inquisitive spirit, seeking to learn from others, and therefore approaching classes as opportunities rather than hurdles to clear. This past fall, Jose had a course in probability with Dr. Ingleson. Higher level probability is one of the most challenging areas in the mathematical sciences. Yet, when I asked Jose about the course, his response did not focus on its difficulty, but instead he enthusiastically told me how it was changing his worldview. Being open to change one's worldview is humility. And I'll just add that when you view the world through a lens of probability, you can't help but maintain that humility. We only can control so much. Walking humbly. Now, on the topic of humility, I'm reminded of the love that Jose and I share for the national parks and the state parks. We've often discussed favorite hikes and outdoor activities loosely tied to his senior study in ecotourism. Nature can teach humility too. If you want just one example, ask Jose about his experience in the Smokies with a pack of coyotes. With that, I give you Jose Hernandez Chavez.
You know, when Dr. Coker said he was going off script, I think everyone assumed he would say something smart or kind or memorable, which he did. But I'm going to go off script for a second, and I'm sure Dean Klingensmith is holding his breath. But what I want to say to you, and I can't see you because these lights are blinding, is thank you for showing up tonight for these people. Not just the 5 seniors here in the front who are candidates for Outstanding Senior, but for all of the people on the stage. How lucky are we to be in the presence of such excellence? I don't know about you, but I have found that in life, you don't get many awards past college. At least I haven't. And if full disclosure, I didn't get any in college either. But now I get to give one, or get to talk about one. So I want to begin by saying that I, like all the other people who introduce these outstanding seniors, am incredibly honored to be here tonight to introduce Nicholas Clifton, which I just learned he wanted to be called Nicholas his last year here. He's one of the nominees for the Outstanding Senior Award. I first met Nick in March of 2019 when he showed up for his initial advising meeting during the spring of his freshman year. I learned a little bit about Nick at this meeting as he shared with me his dream, quote, to become an elementary school teacher, preferably in grade 3, 4, or 5, in a low-income, high-need school, end quote. He was very specific about his dream. Though my initial encounter with Nick was brief and limited to a few kind of get-to-know-you questions, I knew even then that Nick Clifton was the kind of student who was going to leave a distinctive mark on the Maryville College community and beyond. And I was right. Nick has no shortage of accolades and accomplishments from his time at Maryville College. His commitment to calling, his heart for service, and his contributions as a student athlete exemplify so many of the liberal arts, ideals, and values that we hold sacred at Maryville College. Nick's dedication to his calling, that of teaching, is his most obvious and consistent passion. He studies it, he practices it, he values it. Mr. Clifton, as he is known to his pupils, recently completed a student teaching placement at Montvale Elementary School, teaching 4th and 5th grade math, where he was often characterized as a rock star. Montvale principal Donna Russell shared that Mr. Clifton always carved out time to offer that extra support and encouragement to the students who needed it most. And that's no surprise to anyone who knows him. In terms of service, Nick is a former Newman Civic Fellow and a current Trio and Bonner Scholar. Ann McKee shared that Nick accumulated over 1,800 hours of community service during his 4 years at the college, some of which were completed at the MLK Center in Alcoa, mentoring children and teens in the after-school program. Nick also served as the president of the Kappa Delta Pi Honor Society, held membership in Tennessee Educators of Color Alliance, and was named an NEA Aspiring Educator. Clearly, Nick has demonstrated service to others in many regards, but he contributed to our campus community through his participation in athletics, as well as a member and a leader. He is presently team captain of the basketball team and has been recognized repeatedly as a Maryville College Scholar Athlete. I know I should stop here. I kept resending my speech to the administrative assistant in the dean's office. Nope, too long. Nope, too long. Nope, too long. So I should stop here. But as impressive and inspiring as all of Nick's achievements are, his actions do not tell the whole story. Nick is outstanding not just because of what he does, but also because of the person he fundamentally is. Nick is one of the most humble people I have ever known. Each time he is nominated for an award or recognized for excellence or even complimented, he is genuinely surprised. And it's not that kind of false modesty we so often see, but instead it's an authentic reaction of unexpectedness. Who, me? Unpretentious and earnest, Nick keeps it 100. And the college kids know what that means. I just wrote it down because I hear him say it. I began my introduction with a list of Nicholas Clifton's awards and recognitions, but I will end with a simple statement of fact. Nicholas Clifton's outstandingness has certainly been demonstrated through his many accomplishments and accolades, but it is his humility, authenticity, strength of character, passion for children, and sense of gratitude that make him especially deserving of this honor. Thank you, Nick Clifton, for being so outstanding.
Since Chloe Hamlet arrived at Maryville College, she has provided a positive influence on our community, exemplifying the covenant of scholarship, respect, and integrity. As a writing communication major with strong talents for creativity, conciseness, and clarity, Chloe has demonstrated her commitment to scholarship by pursuing 2 minors, design and business. Through her enthusiasm and work ethic, she has created an interdisciplinary approach to her professional self, all the while weaving together these subjects in her senior thesis, A Cry in the Dark, Communications Practices in Major Criminal Investigations, a thesis that her senior study advisor, Dr. Will Phillips, calls multifaceted, meticulous, and thorough. Besides connecting disciplines, she excels across genres of writing and literature, from poetry to journalism to publishing and editing. She has earned high praise in all of her courses, major and non-major alike. Versatility comes to mind when thinking of Chloe's creative and academic work, and I'm eager to see how she will take her talents and her even-keeled leadership to future workplaces. As the editor-in-chief of Impressions Literary Magazine and a continuing active member of student programming, Chloe not only provides a strong model of an organized, conscientious student for her peers, but she also fosters authentic collaborations between staff members and plans enjoyable events that people want to attend. Chloe listens and highlights people's strengths, sharing her insights instead of keeping them to herself. Regardless of whether she is leading a meeting in which we brainstorm ideas for events or one in which we disagree about a piece for the magazine, Chloe maintains composure, making swift, reasonable decisions about how to proceed, whether we vote, organize, take a break, or make a sign-up sheet to distribute responsibility. Condensing ideas from a creative staff and navigating event planning and promotion during a pandemic are no small tasks for even the most distinguished of leaders. Chloe has taken these challenges in stride, landing us around a campfire, painting pumpkins in small distanced groups, and running several inclusive social media campaigns to increase participation from all. From her ability to oversee others' work and to bring creative spark to her environments, Chloe earns respect as much as she offers it. In all, Chloe Hamlet expresses outstanding to its fullest extent by pursuing multiple areas of study, excelling across genres of professional communication, and developing herself into an intuitive leader and a true confidant to others. As her academic advisor, I want to thank, honor, and congratulate Chloe for her wonderful achievement.
Let us recognize all of these outstanding seniors with one more round of applause. After much deliberation, the selection committee finally chose one of these 6 nominees to be the outstanding senior for the 2021-2022 academic year. I have the great pleasure of introducing our outstanding senior, Mr. Nicholas Clifton. Our ceremony is now drawing to a close. I will conclude by saying that college is supposed to be challenging. We honor these students and all the rest of these students tonight because they have overcome many challenges and many tests. I'd like to thank especially the families and friends of these scholars for the encouragement they have given to enable these achievements. But the academic year is not over yet. There are more achievements to be won, and with your love, patience, and support, these and many other students will continue to impress, surprise, and delight their professors. Please return to your seats. Thank you. I have 2 last items of business. Firstly, would all of the outstanding senior finalists and Mr. and Mrs. Carl McDonald, Dr. Coker and the Lacroix recipient please return to the stage after the ceremony for photographs. And the second item is that I would just like to thank my colleagues, the academic division chairs, and especially my colleagues in the Dean's office, Ms. Sage Miller-Wildsmith and Ms. Denise Cantrell, for making this event possible tonight. The Reverend Dr. William Meyer will close our ceremony with a benediction.
Let us pray. As we depart here this evening, O God, we again give thanks for these outstanding students and their achievements. But may we also keep in mind, O Lord, the people of Ukraine and all those who suffer amidst war, conflict, poverty, and injustice around the world. May we be sustained by, as well as be instruments of, thy grace and thy peace. As we prepare our students for the future, may we all be nourished by the memorable meditation offered by the notable 20th century American theologian Reinhold Niebuhr. As Niebuhr observes, nothing that is worth doing can be achieved in our lifetime. Therefore, we must be saved by hope. Nothing which is true or beautiful or good makes complete sense in any immediate context of history. Therefore, we must be saved by faith. Nothing we do, however virtuous, can be accomplished alone. Therefore, we must be saved by love. No virtuous act is quite as virtuous from the standpoint of our friend or foe as it appears from our own standpoint. Therefore, we must be saved by the final form of love, which is forgiveness. May the lives of all of us, O Lord, be guided and sustained by these virtues of faith, hope, love, and forgiveness. We offer these prayers in the name of the one they called Teacher. Amen.